Now time to round up today's top stories in the world of science and technology with CTV's science and tech expert Dan Riskin. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, so a rocket that I was so excited it was going to go to the moon today, and now we have to wait for another day.
Yeah, do we have an idea of why? Like, what happened here?
Well, there were a couple of delays. Basically, the morning of the launch, they have to put all the fuel in it. They don't leave the fuel in there, the night before because it's extremely volatile. It has to be kept very, very cold. And so it's basically hydrogen in the bottom half, oxygen in the top half, and it's the mixing of those that creates the combustion. And the filling of the tanks was delayed because there was a lightning storm in the area, and they like to play it safe when it comes to that stuff. But once they got it filled, a little bit of a leak started to emerge, and there was a whole lot of talk about whether this was a big leak or a small leak or a bad leak or an okay leak, and ultimately they decided that there was just enough uncertainty that they didn't feel comfortable. The launch window today was only from 8:33 until 10:33, and they had paused the launch clock at 40 minutes, and ultimately they just said, you know what, we don't want to be rushed, we don't want to make any mistakes here, so we're going to push this to another day and get this all sorted out. So now they have to get all that fuel off of the ship and prepare for another day.
And Dan, along with that, the next possible launch is slated for Friday. So, we got to take a look at more subjects here, even though I love space and everything about it. But we're going to, switch it up a little bit, Dan, with bats. How do they live so long?
Yeah, bats. So when you think of the longest lived animals, you don't think of bats because they look like mice. And we all know that mice only live for like 5 years or something like that. But bats can live into their 40s, which is just this crazy thing. For a mammal that small to do that makes them exceptional among mammals. And there's this new study that gives a hint as to how the best of the bats do it. The bats that can hibernate in the winter actually seem to be aging more slowly while they're in hibernation. It's almost like they're in a cryogenic chamber. And so when you take a bat and you let it go hibernate, it drops its body temperature down to like 5 degrees Celsius. And that just gives it this boost so that it's not aging and it's just surviving through the winter, but only aging at about 25% the rate of a normal one. So that bat there is a big brown bat. That's the one that was in the study. It's a Canadian bat. In fact, the bats in this study were Canadian bats from Hamilton. And so it's just a nice window into what the secrets are to a long life for other mammals. And the hope is that we can make this into technologies that will help humans live longer too.
Right. So what can we take away from this? How can we live longer as humans?
Well, it's about understanding the cellular processes that break down the DNA or that cause methylation, which is really like the aging of the cells. And so if we can understand how bats can slow that down and what's going on inside their cells, then we can start to understand what chemicals and what parts of our own cells are causing the aging process to happen and ask whether some of those might be modified a little bit.
Okay, and speaking of long life, Dan, long marriages. What makes a marriage work, Dan? I'm listening, taking notes.
Oh, yeah. So this is a study of trying to predict what will make people happy in a marriage. And this is really neat because it's a very hard scientific question. I mean, you could just put people together from from the same background, like same socioeconomic background. But that doesn't always work. Sometimes you get, the rich person and the poor person that fall in love and it just works beautifully. Or you could do personality tests. But you know as well as I do that sometimes people with the same personality do really well together. And sometimes it's opposites that attract when it comes to personality. So this latest study looks at whether being in sync, whether your brain waves might predict if you're going to make it as a couple. And so what they did is they took married people and they showed them a bunch of movies, not exciting, Avenger movies, but like a boring movie of people making dinner together or other situations that would happen in a normal marriage. And as people watched them, they had their brains scanned. And what they found is when you look at couples that are doing well as a couple, that are both satisfied in the relationship, they tend to have the same brain activity when they're watching the same movie, as though they're experiencing it in very similar ways. It's as though they have a very similar way of seeing the world. And so there's something there. I don't know how you use that when you're online dating, trying to find that match.
What are you talking about? It sounds like a perfect first date idea.
I mean, Dan,
if I was going on the first date, absolutely. I'd be like, what, brain scans? I am in. Let's do this. I think you might be the person for me.
Dan, I was just going to say, what in the world?
You found manager woman, you're good.
So it wouldn't work for everybody. But I mean, sometimes it's a scientific question, right? What is going to make a relationship last or not last? Sometimes it's very practical why you want to know this, because maybe you're having trouble in your relationship or you're not and you just want to prevent it. And so understanding these things can be really important. But fundamentally, it's also like an interesting question about how humans choose their mates.
Yeah.
How we, like there's a very well-known phenomenon that you don't necessarily fall in love with somebody you grew up with because, we have this whole built-in thing to avoid accidentally falling in love with a sibling. So somebody you've known since a very young age, that doesn't work. And so there are all these neat mechanisms in place to help you choose the right person. And it's just interesting that brainwaves come into play as well.
Yeah, we didn't know you were going there.
CTV science and tech expert.
I know it's
Dan
early in the
Riskin.
morning for incest, but just a little bit.
Always great chatting with you, Dan. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Dan. Chat again soon.
Look at this right here in our parking lot at 299 Queen Street West. The 21st annual Toronto International Busker Fest is back. They have performers from all over the world. And honestly, every time I see performers like this, I go, how do they do this, right? Mackenzie Muldoon, come on in. You're the executive director, the director of entertainment with Busker Fest. Honestly, right? The kids are going to love this.
Oh my God, not just the kids. We've got stuff for the adults too. We have our first drag show this year.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the new features this year at Busker Fest.
Absolutely. So Sunday night, we have our first drag show. We have amazing acts that have never been at the festival before. So like Rhythm Works, the Raptors drummers are coming to the fest this year. We have Corpus Dance doing Les Moutons, which is an incredible, very surreal act. And yeah, our beer garden is happening. We have live bands every night. We have the drag show. We have a whole Be a Busker zone where kids can participate in workshops all day long. Lots of fun stuff.
Yeah, so something for everybody, for the entire family, right? It's running this weekend for Labor Day weekend at Woodbine Park. Tell me about how it's great to see the festival come back in full force.
Absolutely. It's been a tough couple of years for buskers and for Epilepsy Toronto, who organized the event. It's a major fundraiser for us. So it's been tough to go without it for the last couple of years, but we're really excited to be back. The way the festival works is admission at the gate goes to Epilepsy Toronto, and donations in the hat go to the performers. So we hope everyone comes and has an amazing time, is back in the action. It's going to be beautiful down at Woodbine Park. The grass is green, it's gorgeous. And it's going to be a great weekend.
It'll be so much fun, and you get to see cool acts like this.
Yes.
Really quickly. Let me ask, hi, what's your name?
Matt Ricardo.
Okay, how do you do this? Like, how long does it take for you to practice something like this?
Well, I've been doing this for 35 years, but the question really is not how, but why.
Okay, let me ask, why?
Why? I can't do anything else.
Oh no, I'm sure you're multi-talented.
A little bit.
Oh, so much fun. And then this one, I can't get over. You're like juggling with real swords and knives,
Yeah,
right?
I'm juggling knives and standing on boots of nails.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to get used to that feeling on being on nails like that?
Oh, I'm hoping to have it down by next week.
So when you perform something like this, how do the kids react?
They scream more than I do.
Yes.
It's a little unsettling at first, but
Yeah.
I assure them I'm okay, and then we get to the fun stuff, and it ends up a really fun time.
Yeah, it really is a fun time. Okay, let's see you do that little feat
right.
there.
And just so you know, they are real. Here we go. All right. Woo.
How does he do that? That looks so painful. Okay, you come back here. Mackenzie, so much fun. So again, Busker Fest this weekend at Woodbine Park.
Yes. And if you need any more information, you can go to torontobuskerfest.com. And we'll be there September 2nd to the 5th, running all day, all night, and it's going to be a great time.
Okay, sounds good. And then we're going to come back again a little while later to show some of the other performers of Busker Fest. In the meantime, we're going to take a break. Again, how do they do this? I have no idea. It has been a long night for some fans of BTS who have been waiting to get a piece of the K-pop supergroup, and now they're standing and they're ready.
They are committed. For more on this, we go live inside Toronto's CF Centre. Artist Zakarian is standing by, speaking with some folks there. It is incredible to see all of these people here, some super fans there who've been camping out all night, Arda.
Yes, and now the time is almost here. 30 minutes until the store opens up. Take a look at just some of the lineup behind me. It actually goes downstairs too. Hundreds of people have been waiting overnight just to get into this pop-up store. With me is Charlotte. I'm just going to ask you quickly, why are you such a big fan of BTS?
Because BTS music are actually really good, and they also give out a really positive message to the whole world.
Amazing, thank you. She's been waiting since 7 p.m. last night, had to sleep on the floor of the Eaton Center. We're gonna get a sneak peek of the store. With me right now is Lexi. Lexi, thank you so much. Can you tell us what some of the most popular items are here in the store?
Absolutely, let's go take a look.
Let's do the tour. Okay, so we see lots of these other merchandise too, bags, we see lots of clothes, we see home goods, stationery, but the real, excuse me, sorry, just squeezing by, the real coveted items.
These are the Dalmajung line. This was released in Mid-Autumn Festival. So these are a more aesthetic, traditional style with some amazing items. If you follow me this way.
Okay, we're gonna go straight across to the end of the store where there's this whale.
Yeah, so this is an iconic whale. This is really representative of the fan base of BTS, and these are a hot ticket item and will sell out super, super fast.
So once these sell out, you're not restocking these?
No, these are like an exclusive item. They're hard to get, and when people order them online, it's super, super quick, within minutes actually, so yes.
So let's go over to the other side of the store if we can, because there's something else that's over there as well. So some of these items, people resell them for how much?
2 to 3 times the amount. So these are definitely exclusive. So these are the Sawuzu line. These are really interesting and cute pieces, purple, sparkly. If you walk over here, we have t-shirts and a lot of other exclusive items we're super excited to carry.
Thank you so much for that, Lexi. Appreciate it. We'll be back when the store opens. Back to you.
Please let me explain. My name is to shame. It means your
One of North America's largest celebration of Jewish culture and music is kicking off today. And one of the marquee events is the premiere of the very first Yiddish opera. That's right. Eric Stein, the artistic director of the Ashkenaz Festival, joins us now live for a look at what's in store. Eric, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, so it kicks off today. Tell us a little bit more about the Ashkenaz Festival.
Well, the festival has been around for 27 years. This is the 13th edition of our festival, which is normally biennial. And we had to skip it in 2020 because of the pandemic, and we're back at it now for the first time since 2018. And the festival is the largest festival of its kind in North America. We've got this year over 40 events, including musicians and artists from all over the world, across Canada, across North America, and Europe, and Israel. We have a lot of featured events that are very special this year, particularly a Yiddish opera that we're presenting that you mentioned. This is a work that was written in 1924, but was lost up until just a few years ago. It was rediscovered and restored, and it's going to be quite an exceptional event beginning tomorrow at Glenn Gould's studio. We have 3 shows of that event. And then on the weekend, we're at Harbourfront Centre with almost all free programming all day long, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
I love it. Let's focus a little bit on that Yiddish opera because it's the first time it's ever being presented in Canada. What is a Yiddish opera? This is so intriguing.
Well, it's an opera in the Yiddish language. The Yiddish is the language of Eastern European Jews, and there have been very few works like this created before, and this one, like I said, has just been unearthed and restored, and it's really sort of an extraordinary first time happening. And the performance ensemble includes the UCLA Philharmonia, so we've got over 20 musicians here from Los Angeles, teaming up with a whole group of local soloists and choristers.
Love it. And I know that the program will include old and new Jewish folk music coming from Ukraine. There's going to be a tribute to this.
That's right. We're actually putting a big spotlight on Ukraine as part of the festival. Ukraine is one of the most fertile grounds for Jewish cultural creation over the years. We have a whole exhibition at the festival that explores the relationship between Jews and Ukrainians on Ukrainian soil. And on Saturday evening, we have this epic festival commissioned ensemble that we're calling the Ukrainian Jewish All-Stars, and they will be performing a variety of music from the Jewish tradition based in Ukraine.
Yeah, why was this so important to highlight this in this festival, especially with everything that's going on globally?
Yeah, obviously it's so timely. It's in the news, and it's just an opportunity to explore something with a little bit more heightened sense of awareness of why it's important. And it's sort of a unique case for the Jews, given their historical relationship with Ukraine and the disruptions that Jewish people experienced in their lives living in Ukraine and eventually being forced to flee. And being victims themselves of the Holocaust, that there are a lot of resonant echoes in what's going on today in the injustice and the brutality that's taking place. So we do, as part of the festival, like to shine a spotlight on these kinds of things strictly from a cultural standpoint. There's so much of the politics and the political aspect of it that you see in the news. But when it occasions an opportunity to explore cultural and music, that's a way to really bring a lot of people together and connect people in ways that they might not otherwise connect, and create more consciousness about Ukraine as a country, and particularly in our case, the presence of Jewish people in Ukraine for centuries.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that art, music, culture, it unites the world. And so it sounds fantastic. The Ashkenaz Festival gets underway today, wraps up September 5th. And for more information, people go to ashkenaz.ca. Eric, we thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks so much. My pleasure.
Well, friends, after a 2-year pandemic pause, the Toronto Dragon Festival is making its big return to Nathan Phillips Square right here downtown. Listen, this is free. Plenty of free entertainment and activities for the entire family, definitely family friendly. And joining us now right here in studio, I feel so nice to say, is David Jung. You are the Toronto Dragon Festival executive producer. You are the man of the weekend. You know all the who's who and the know about for this festival. First of all, congrats. We're back. How does it feel?
Well, thank you, Patricia. Yeah, I'm happy, excited to be here.
Yeah, totally. So for those who may not know what Toronto Dragon Festival is, and maybe they've never seen it, I mean, Toronto's so multicultural. Tell us, what is the Toronto Dragon Festival?
All right, okay. The Toronto Dragon Festival is organized by the Canadian Association of Chinese Performing Arts. It is an annual celebration to the Chinese heritage in performing arts and food.
I love that. And as you see on screen right here, that is the group called Unharnessed. They are doing the Dragon Dance right here at 299 Queen Street West in our parking lot. I just love the culture of this. And you can go to, of course, dragonfestival.ca to see more info on the event. But let's talk more about what's happening here, those performances. What can people expect to see over the course of the weekend?
All right, so it's a Dragon Festival, right? So we got to have a lot of Dragon Dance performance there. Beautiful. And also the most beloved, lion dance.
Oh yes, yeah. I do love that.
And one thing I want to mention here is it's actually just one level up, right? So not only they dance on the ground, now they are dance on high poles.
Oh, that must be tricky and
exactly,
really hard.
Yeah. So this is actually a acrobatic style of performance.
Exactly. Not busker, but kind of, a little bit of gymnastics.
Exactly.
You really have to have a talent for this.
And the lead dancer is actually just finished his world tour with the Cirque du Soleil.
With Cirque du Soleil?
Exactly, yes.
Wow, well, what an honor to have this back in Toronto. Let's talk about... Do you smell that, David?
I do.
Some nice sense of candy in our newsroom right here.
Right.
So there's something traditional in the Chinese culture when it comes to Toronto Dragon and Dragon Festival. It is kind of like sugar painting, right? So we have an artist right here in our studio. Check out the art here. He's literally made, check this out on our screen right here, David. Look, he's made butterflies. He's made, I think those are flamingos, horses, and an actual dragon as well. So since we're talking about candy, let's talk about food. What can we expect? Because, everyone everyone loves a good food at festivals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone loves food, yeah, as you said, right?
Yes.
So we have like a lot of traditional Chinese, street food, such as lamb skewers, charcoal squid, the grilled oysters.
Ooh, I've never had that. Grilled oysters.
Yeah,
wow.
and torched sushi, and also the twisted potato chips. Of course, the bubble tea,
Bubble tea, please. Tapioca for everyone.
Yeah, also the
I love
steamed
that.
fried buns and many more Asian food for you to discover. And also a lot of them are actually the secret menu items for you
Secret menu.
to find out on site.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, you should have brought me some food. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, I do. I did brought lots of food here, so I can show
Some
you
candies,
here.
right?
Yeah,
Right here. That's
cakes.
true.
Those actually,
Here, let me show you guys.
yeah,
You want to hold
okay.
some too?
Oh,
Let's
sure,
show
yeah.
everybody. Are these traditional, David?
They are. They are made with the traditional Chinese craftsmanship.
Oh, wow.
So they are also made with traditional Chinese ingredients, right? Each of them has different stuffing there, and it's made with a different shape, right?
I
You
love
see
that.
here?
What I love so much is that there's always art when it comes to food in the Chinese culture. Look at that. That is literally art.
Yeah.
That is just so beautiful. All right, I'm feeling the vibes. It's the weekend and we're back. The Toronto Dragon Festival must feel so good to be back, right, David?
Exactly. So the festival will start actually today in the afternoon. We will have the opening ceremony to kick off at 7 p.m.
Beautiful.
And the festival will start today till the Sunday,
Right.
At 8 p.m.
Perfect.
Yes.
And where can people find out more information about the festival?
Yeah, you can find out more information from our website, right? It's www.dragonfestival.ca.
That's right. All right, there's Unharnessed in our parking lot. Unharnessed, harness yourself back. Let's see another dance. This is so amazing, David. And hey, this is going to be at the festival, so make sure you head down. It's right here at Nathan Phillips Square, just a stone throw away from 299 Queen. Congratulations for being back. This is oh so amazing. All right, happening all weekend long. All right, I believe it's time for, are we promoting G? Are we going to break now? Okay, my friend, so we're going to break, but we have so much more show to go. Thank you, David, and
Thank you,
congrats
Patricia,
for being
for having
back.
me here.
Can I try this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ooh.